Hello and welcome into Walsh Gymnasium. I'm Christian Gardner alongside Kahlei Smith for Pirate TV, covering Seton Hall women's basketball as they lost today against the Fordham Rams to the score of 82-63. And Kahlei, this was a point of emphasis for Coach Bozzella after the game on Tuesday against the Mount, that their energy was a little bit flat and starting a bit slow, and it seemed to carry over here on Saturday.
Yeah, Seton Hall Pirates, they looked a little sloppy coming out at first, but Fordham Rams, they're a tough, competitive team. And like you said in the press conference, Bozzella, overall, he just said that this team didn't look like the way they used to. So that's something that they can improve on later in the season.
Certainly our toughness. One thing I can't teach in this program is toughness, and that's not been a problem in the past, and it's clearly a problem now. It's the third straight game we got dominated. I know we won a couple of them, but fourth straight game. I mean, it's just disappointing that we get out toughed. And you look at the numbers of 14 offensive rebounds to 5 offensive rebounds to second chance points 15-5, points in the paint 30-14, points off turnovers 22-13, fast breaks 14-4. I mean, if that doesn't say it all, nothing else will. Again, give Fordham a lot of credit, but clearly we have, we're just not playing well. This is not good.
I mean, there's so many stars for the Seton Hall Pirates team, and it just felt like that the Pirates could get back into this game, back and forth. I mean, within that second quarter, that's when you start seeing Fordham start to pull away, but at halftime, Pirates were only down by 7, but to finish the game down by 20, something must have happened. Let's go into that third quarter. This is probably the best quarter for the Pirates as it was back and forth throughout. I mean, the stars for Fordham were absolutely cooking, but the Pirates were able to fight their way back into this. So what did you see in that third quarter as they went on quite a run, a 10-0 run in that third quarter, but still could not get back in it?
Yeah, like I said, in the first and second quarter, the Pirates came out a little sloppy, but, in that third quarter, players like Espinoza Hunter and Park Lane, Sidney Cooks, they started to score more, get into their rhythm. So I think that's for all players. They need to get into the rhythm on this Pirates team, not just a few.
I mean, you noted as we're watching this game, Espinoza Hunter, who's a lethal shooter, had not taken a shot until the second quarter, which is absolutely absurd to think about. But let's go on this Fordham Rams side, storming in here on the road and completely having their way in Walsh Gymnasium. Who is making the big destruction? I mean, pregame, we talked about Dingle. What did you see from the Fordham Rams today?
Yeah, like you said, we talked about Dingle, how she scored 34 points against Quinnipiac in a game before. But, the Fordham Rams, they have other players, too, that can get it going. Kendall Hormeyer, she had 29 points. Other players like Anna DeWolf, she has 16 points. So, this Fordham Rams, they have a big three, just like the Pirates do, that can, get into the rhythm and get it going early.
Hormeyer was just a lethal shooter today. I mean, what she was able to do for this Rams team, I mean, they just could not stop her from beyond the arc. I believe she finished 8 for 11, and this was coming off a game where she had 9 attempts. So Coach Bozzella said in the press conference how they wanted to harp on her, and it just didn't go their way today as she was absolutely on fire.
Yeah, like you said, man, when you have other players that can contribute for you, not just one player like Asia Dingle, it took the pressure off of Dingle. She scored the ball, but you have other players that can contribute for you, and that's a great part about that team.
On the Pirates side of the ball, I mean, when you talk about the Seton Hall Pirates team, what makes it go is the big three: Andrea Espinoza Hunter, Lauren Park Lane, and Maya Jackson. Now, we talked about Espinoza Hunter. Took a little bit of time to get into her rhythm. Lauren Park Lane finishing with 15 points, but not exactly the same performance that you want to see. And Maya Jackson getting into foul trouble early. So, Coach Bozzella didn't love what he got from the stars today. What did you see from them?
Like you said, Espinoza Hunter, she didn't really get it going early on, but, she finished with 20 points. So, she did contribute to this game, Park Lane as well. But Sidney Cook, she's a standout player for this game as well, But one player that you need to pay attention in this game is Maya Jackson. Like I said, she only finished with 1 point, only shot 4 shots. So she needs to contribute to this team, as she's going to play a bigger role for this season.
When she's a huge leader for this team, but she spent most of the time on the bench today with all that foul trouble. But you pointed out one player right there in Sydney Cooks, returning to the lineup after dealing with a pretty nasty injury. But she had a pretty good performance today. What did you see from her?
Yeah, she just dominated inside and outside. Her first shot was a 3-pointer, so you can tell that she was really confident and, finishing inside and outside. Like I said, she finished with 21 points, 9 rebounds. So that's another player that can contribute for this Pirates team other than the big 3.
I mean, we have to harp on the Pirates' miscues, though. I mean, Sydney Cooks was a delight, but still a good amount of turnovers. What were some of the things that Fordham was able to take advantage of and just dominate towards the end of this game?
Yeah, like you said, even though the Fordham Rams, they had 22 turnovers, Seton Hall Pirates had 13, but, they were just aggressive all throughout the game, especially on, rebounding, offensive rebounding. I think Asia Dingle, she had 10, overall she had 13 rebounds, and 3 of those rebounds were offensive. So, it really doesn't matter about height. It's heart over height, and that's what Asia Dingle had tonight.
Yeah, Coach Bozzella, I think that's what it was all about right there. I mean, we saw on multiple occasions that the Pirates had a chance for rebounds, but somehow ended up in the shortest player's hands, in Asia Dingle, every single time. I mean, Asia Dingle to finish with a double-double is wild, as she's stealing away rebounds from left and right, Armstrong. I mean, even for Sydney Cooks as well. So definitely the rebounding is just, like Bozzella was trying to say, they need to figure out that energy situation. But moving towards Tuesday, as the Pirates will take on Lehigh back here at Walsh Gymnasium, what do they have to do moving forward, Kahlei? Because yes, they got the win to start off the season, but when frankly you got beat the way you did today, how do the Pirates move forward?
Like Tony Bozzella said in the press conference, this wasn't a great shooting night for this team, but, on other games, you're going to have great shooting nights. But, obviously this big 3, they have to contribute early on in the season, but they also have to have other players that contribute for this team, like Sydney Cook, like Hertesia Dean, who was actually injured, coming into this game. So you have to have those bench players who can contribute for this team.
Definitely, but after just a day that it just wasn't for the Pirates, they'll move on to Lehigh on Tuesday, and we'll be back here in Walsh Gymnasium. For Kahlei Smith, I'm Christian Gardner, and I'm producer Brian Schock on the camera. We'll see you next time.